Well, good morning and welcome back to the channel. If you are new to Forest Adventures with Scott, I appreciate you clicking on the video. Here comes the wind on cue. And if you find the content interesting and beneficial, I welcome you to like and subscribe to my channel. Today we are looking at the Battlehorse Knives Bushcrafter. So if you're not familiar with Battlehorse Knives, they are a U.S. company based out of Cambridge, Ohio. And they make high-end quality bushcraft, camping, and hunting knives. So an interesting backstory to Battlehorse Knives, at least I thought was interesting, is that the co-founder, Dan Coppin, and L.T. Wright of L.T. Wright Knives were once partners in blind horse knives. Now, if you can get your hands on a blind horse knife, I would definitely hold on to it. It's probably very collectible at this point. But they separated and formed their own companies. Dan Coppin and his daughter formed Battlehorse Knives, and L.T. Wright formed L.T. Wright Knives. Thought that was kind of interesting. Both high-end quality outdoor knives. So how did I come upon this knife? Well, I've given some thought to how my collection was going and how I want it to go moving forward. I realized that I had a whole lot of budget knives and knives that weren't necessarily budget knives, but I had purchased online, and after carrying, I decided I didn't really care for how they felt, how they performed, and that sort of thing. So moving forward, I'm going to handle all my knives before purchase. So with that mindset, I decided to visit Blade HQ East. I was backpacking several weeks back. You may have seen a video that I posted about that trip, but I was in an area that was close to Blade HQ Marion. So after my trip, I decided to pay them a visit, and I had in mind maybe 5 or 6 knives that I wanted to handle. Ended up handling about 12 knives, but it came down to 4 knives. It came down to the Battlehorse Bushcrafter, the White River Ursus Cub, the Castrum number 8 Swedish Forest Knife, and an L.T. Wright Northern Hunter. Well, as you can see, I came home with the Bushcrafter from Battlehorse Knives. So let's take a look at it. So this knife is a 8.375 length knife, full tang on 01 steel. It's in the shape of the Kephart style, spear point, Scandi grind, true Scandi grind, which means there's no micro or secondary bevel. Super sharp, super sharp. And the handle is canvas micarta in the broomstick style. So sort of like a traditional puukko, except it does have a little bit of a finger guard there, which I appreciate. And also the thickness of the spine is about 0.15 inches. So nice and burly, can do those heavy duty bushcraft chores like batoning wood and making tent stakes. Some of that I'll do out here. Also with a sharp 90-degree spine. So if you're one of those that likes to spark your fire from your knife, this knife will do that. Now here's the sheath. Very high quality. I love the light brown color on it. Very thick, the stitching's well. I did wish that it came with a dangler, so I emailed Battlehorse Knives and asked about that. And they don't make a dangler for this sheath, but they suggested picking up a Castrum dangler, which is about $25. I'll probably do that because I prefer to have a dangler. So anyway, let's get out here and test the knife out. You know, doing some chores, and you can see how it performs. I really like it. I'm gonna try and go through that knot right there. But batoning, this is a really good batoning knife because of the, well, the grind design and the thickness of the spine. I did not want to baton through that. Yeah, fine feather sticker. Okay, it is a windy day, and I think there is a burn ban going on, so I'm not going to start a campfire per se, but I did want to show you how good the spine of this knife strikes a fire. Pretty good. I think I had 2 strikes on it. Like I said, very sharp 90-degree spine, very suitable for bushcraft work. Got to get through this cedar forest and see if we can find something we can make some tent stakes out of. Lots of cedar here. I see something up there that we can use. Actually, you know what? We'll use this little sapling. I like using small saplings for tent stakes. And the best way to cut a sapling is to bend it over. There's an airplane on cue. And you just sort of, okay, so you want to make your tent stakes. Say you need 4. I like using a little bit of green wood. This is just from a sapling. It didn't kill the sapling, but you can just chop it into what size lengths you want them to be. Now, a 4-inch bushcraft knife is not going to be a great chopper, but it will get the job done. So we're going to make 4 of these. So we'll sharpen one end, the end that's going to go into the ground. And you can see that the Battlehorse Knives Bushcrafter makes pretty quick work. I'm making a point there. Then on this side, you want to make your notch. So to make a tent stake notch, you come in from both sides at an angle on each side, and then you just, sorry, sometimes I get off camera when I'm making these notches because I'm concentrating on my cuts. And you just cut up and form your notch. Probably not the prettiest one I've ever made before, but tent stakes don't need to be, it's not a finished piece of wood art. But you get the idea. You make your notch there, you've got your point here, and there you go. So another score for the Bushcrafter. I made another one right here. So yeah, I'm really liking the feel of it. It's really comfortable in hand. I don't foresee having any hot spots. Like I said, I have had this thing in my hand going on 3 weeks now, and I am super pleased, super pleased. All right, my friends, this is going to conclude this video. I hope you enjoyed my showcase of the Battlehorse Knives Bushcrafter. And if you're looking for a stout USA made bushcraft knife or camp knife. Now, people that understand the knife world and understand grinds, you know that this isn't going to be great at food prep, but if you carry an open nail or something with a flat grind that you use, something lightweight that you use for exclusively food prep, it's just going to be a nice complement to a knife like this. So that's kind of what I do these days, is I keep a little open nail number 8 in my pack, whether that be a backpack or day pack or whatever, and I use that for food prep. And I use a camp knife for every other chore. So we've demonstrated a few things out here today, and I think you get the gist of what this knife is capable of. So thanks to Battlehorse Knives for putting out an excellent blade for the outdoors, and we'll see you in the next one. Cue the wind. Peace out.